Hey, it's Pastor Dan from Dexter Gospel Church. Thanks for watching this Proverbs Practical. Today we're going to look at two verses that go together. It's another couplet in which the first verse tells us something to avoid, and the second one gives us a reason for that. We're in Proverbs 22, verses 26 and 27. In Proverbs 22, verses 26 and 27 say, "Be not thou one of them that strike hands, or of them that are sureties for debts. If thou hast nothing to pay, why should he take away thy bed from under thee?" We've seen a couple warnings about this already in Proverbs. In this case, the behavior to avoid is essentially wheeling and dealing, particularly in the matter of securing other people's debts. Striking hands, when it says don't be one of those that strikes hands, it's like shaking hands on a deal or signing a contract. It's not that it's wrong to make a commitment, but that it's not a good idea to be wheeling and dealing and looking for advantage all the time. In particular, it seems to be focusing on the same thing as the second part of the verse, being surety for someone. You can hear the same root as insurance in that. It's like co-signing on a loan today. Someone else wants to borrow something, but they don't have the collateral to put up for it or a credit rating that's high enough for the bank to take a risk on them. So you promise the bank to repay their debt if they don't. You co-sign on the loan as if it was you borrowing the money. So you don't get anything, you don't get the money they borrowed, but you do get the risk because if they don't pay it back, then you're on the hook to repay that debt. Now, wheeling and dealing, there can be profit in securing other people's loans. You can try to charge interest rates and get them to make deals with you to pay you back for you securing the loan and so on. But there's a lot of risk in that. And when you aren't even the one issuing the loan, you don't have much of the opportunity for the profit, but you end up with all of the risk. So in essence, it's saying don't co-sign it unless you can afford just to give it away, both financially and emotionally. The second verse says that if you don't owe anything, why are they going to come and take your bed out from under you? If you don't owe something, the collectors don't show up to take it. But if you've mortgaged everything you own on someone else's debt, well, the debt collector isn't going to care how important it is to you or how little else you have or whatever. They're just there to collect on the debt. They'll come right in and bundle up your bedding back then if you owed money. Now today they might not take your sheets and they probably don't want your mattress, but they will take pretty much anything of value to cover their debts. You could lose everything and end up in debt yourself if you take on too much of someone else's debt. So if you want to be wise, well, it's fine to be generous, giving whatever you can to whoever is in need. If you can treat it as a gift, saying that you can afford to give it away and it won't hurt your relationship if the other person doesn't pay it back, well, maybe it's okay to co-sign to become surety for someone else's loan. I'm certainly glad my wife's parents did that for our first car purchase. We repaid the debt and everybody got what they were supposed to get and we all went away happy, but that's not always how it happens. If you can't afford to give it, or you would resent the loss of the thing if the debt isn't paid, then don't sign for someone else's debt. It's not inevitable that they won't pay. People sometimes do. People often do. But there's a pretty strong chance that something will go wrong. And if it does, it'll be you holding the bag for it with no recourse but to potentially lose everything you have. I hope this video is a blessing to you. If it is, go ahead and hit like on it and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already for more content like it. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, and we'd love to see you in person here at Dexter Gospel Church. Until next time, hope you stay well and avoid other people's debts.